Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It's game number 2 here from BYU, Larry H. Miller Field, on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com. This game today brought to you by Boulevard Home. Caden Formaster, Devin Dixon. So we get ready for this matchup between the Ridgeline Riverhawks and the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. The Mustangs taking the field to get ready to start this one off.
Yeah, and a little bit of a upset special yesterday with the 7-seed Green Canyon, who we'll see later tonight, winning. And now Crimson has got that long road through that one-loss side of the bracket, and it starts today. I mean, you know, this is an elimination game. And Ridgeline, on the other hand, they got steamrolled by Dixie last night, 10-1. So both these teams, a 5-1 and a 10-1 loss, trying to regroup and march on and get a win here this afternoon. Should be really interesting to see how this plays out. You know, Javen Ross getting the start for Coach Justin Abbott and the defending state champ Crimson Cliffs Mustangs.
Yep, Javen Ross, as you mentioned, on the bump today for Crimson Cliffs. Bodie Hansen for Ridgeline is going to be on the mound today as well. So that's your pitcher's duel. And you know, Javen Ross, I would probably say is the ace for Crimson Cliffs. They pitched a young pitcher yesterday. You know, and we thought, a lot of us were thinking, interesting choice, pitching the young guy, a guy who had only pitched 6 innings.
He did pitch well.
In Jarvis, yep. Jarvis Osborne, and he pitched well. He only allowed 1 run to come in. So you could say that it was successful in that aspect, but of course you also didn't get the win. So the game as a whole, not successful necessarily. They're looking to counteract that today with the win here against the Riverhawks.
Yeah, no question about it. And, you know, Ridgeline's young. They don't have a lot of upperclassmen. They start a lot of young kids, a lot of freshmen we'll see in the lineup. This is a young team. The future looks so bright. But if they can beat the defending state champs, the future is kind of now, and they can try to march through this one-loss side of the bracket. But, you know, I'm sure the recipe today for Crimson is try to rattle the bats. They did not swing it well yesterday against Green Canyon's pitching. And then you combine that with, the recipe that's worked for Crimson, even going back to last year's state championship team, was Ross and Sampson, and then turn the ball over to Aaron Morris on the backside. And I'm sure that's what Coach Abbott's plan is today if it goes to script. But Ridgeline, of course, has other ideas.
Of course they do. Well, we're getting underway. We appreciate you joining us here as we are getting into gameplay. I want to thank Findlay Subaru as our sponsor of our pregame show. Findlay Subaru, they've been working hard in our community to make sure that we are well taken care of. They've done a really good job. You can go see their new lineup, their all-star lineup, over on 1453 Sunland Drive, or visit FindlaySubaru.com. 7 up to the plate. First off here is Cam Blotter, shortstop for the Riverhawks. Getting underway is Javen Ross. First pitch coming in a little high, ball 1.
Yeah, Ross, velocity, mid to upper 80s. Can top out there that, 87, 88 range. Good movement on his off-speed stuff. And they'd love to see him just go 5 today. Stay under 85 pitches, go 5 innings, and then get the ball in the back end. Twice this year, he has had a combined no-hitter with Aaron Morris.
Sends that one to second base. The throw over to first is there from Still Barbin to Maynard. It's out number 1.
Yeah, House of Jump starting lineup. Defensively, Ross on the mound, Starley behind the dish, Maynard at third, Soto at short, Barbin at second, and the other twin, Maynard at first base. Tate wears 8 and Ty wears 28. Trey Evans is back. He's in left, West in center, and Baldwin out there in right. Of course, the House of Jump starting lineup: Blotter, Hansen, Purser, then Hansen, Dahlke, Clark, Bear, Jensen. Your lineup card for Ridgeline.
First pitch, strike 1 to Hansen. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. 0-2 count now. Javen Ross, the lefty so far. Pitching strikes.
Justin Jensen, the skipper for Ridgeline, would love to get out to a hot start against Ross if possible.
Got him looking for strike 3. Out number 2.
Yeah, just great pitch. Froze him. Just absolutely froze him. S&S Mechanical strikeout number 1 for Javen Ross, who's a guy that can go double-digit Ks in a game. We've seen it frequently this season.
Now that brings up Trey Purser. He pitched started the game yesterday for Ridgeline. Pitched a pretty decent game against Dixie, but Dixie then again opened it up a little later in the ball game. Took a few innings for him to get going as that one swung on a miss for strike one. Javen Ross looking pretty comfortable up there right now on the mound through the first 2.5 batters.
And 21-4 this year, the record for the Mustangs.
Down the line, stays fair. He's going to round first, head for two. Evans making the throw in to keep Purser at second base with a stand-up double.
Great piece of hitting by Purser. Pulled it, saw it well, turned on it, and that's how you get that hot start. We were just saying that they were looking for Riverhawks. Got a runner in scoring position there with a one-out double, and this is just turned on, just golfed and pulled down the line. What about a foot fair? 1.5 feet, 2 feet fair? Great piece of hitting.
Yeah, Purser starting off the hitting here for the Riverhawks. Looking for a rally stop rally, a 2-out rally here. Stepping up to the plate now is Bodie Hansen, who's on the mound.
My mistake, I said 1 out. There's 2 outs. And Ross this year, 0.93 ERA, 4-0 record, and 9 appearances. Solid stuff.
Here's the pitch. In there, strike one.
As a team, Ridgeline swings at a 319 clip coming into this afternoon matchup in the 4A State Baseball Championships.
Ross, a couple peeks over to second, delivers, swung on strike two. 0-2 count now for Bodie Hansen.
Yeah, Bodie, 229 hitter. They'd love him to hit today, but they also need Bodie Hansen to be great on the mound, the junior, who we'll see in the bottom half of the inning, 3.32 ERA, 3-1 record this year.
Here's the 0-2. High pitch. Starley behind the plate, stands up and cocks the arm back like he's going to throw down to second, but decides against it. It's a 1-2 now. Runner on second. 2 outs and scoreless here in the top of the first.
Yeah, wind picked up. We saw it at the end of that 11-10 Bear River win against Desert Hills before this game. The wind picked up there in the 6th and 7th inning, and it's kind of stayed up a little bit. That one fouled straight back. Earlier it was blowing kind of right to left. It's switched. It's not kind of a south wind now.
And now blowing a little left to right.
Yeah, from left to right field. Definitely, if you go oppo as a right-handed or you pull it as a left-handed hitter, you could get a little wind aid here at Miller Park.
Time called. Bodie Hansen steps out. A few stretches with the bat. Facing off against a 1-2 count here against Crimson Cliff's Javen Ross, the lefty. Two outs.
Yeah, trying to drive in a run here. Big spot.
Sends it right to shortstop. P.D. Soto makes the play over to first to Maynard, and it is there for out number 3 of the inning.
Yep, and solid job by Ross. Gives up that double to Purser, but gets that ground out to P.D. Soto, does the 6-3 put out. And Crimson will bring the top of the order coming up here when we come back.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702.
In Utah, we love our sports. At KSL, we live and breathe sports. Wherever the action is.
Look who we found in Pasadena.
We're there. Wherever you are. Tune in. On air, online, and on the new KSL Sports app. We cover it all. From high school to pro. And the only radio team that's home to the Utah Jazz. KSL Sports Live and KSL Sports Zone. The one team that never stops tracking your teams.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu
across
tab.
the freeway from the Bloomington Walmart. And stay tuned for the AWP Playmaker of the Game.
Scoreless here as we enter the bottom of the first inning, where Crimson Cliffs is about to step up to the plate, get things started. I want to thank you for joining us here on our broadcast, brought to you by our great sponsors, Uni Associates. They're your local American Family Insurance Agency in St. George. Home, auto, life insurance. Give them a call. Talk to Luke Udy with Uni Associates.
And we see Hansen working on an off-speed pitch there, last couple pitches. And you dive a little deeper into the numbers for Brody Hansen. Mentioned the ERA, 3.32, 3-1 record. But 44 1/3 of work, so he is pitched more innings than anyone on this team coming into the state tournament, by 11 innings more than the closest teammate in innings pitched. So he's been kind of the workhorse this year for the Riverhawks. He's been pretty good. He's only given up 21 earned runs. He's only walked 8, and he struck out 45. So some really good numbers. Opponents against Brody Hansen, they are hitting 269. OBP sitting at 304, but obviously looking for his best stuff of the whole season here in the state tournament against the defending state champs. We'll see what he's got here in the bottom of the first.
Stepping up first for the Mustangs is right fielder Jager Baldwin. Now, yesterday he tweaked that left shoulder of his, sliding into third base. And that was his first at-bat, actually, that he made it all the way around. And throughout the day yesterday, he was a little tight. He was a little sore. You could see it on him. He was not feeling 100%. So we'll see how he's feeling today. Obviously, still playing, still in the game. And as he will step up into the Buck Brand Beef batter's box to lead off here for Crimson Cliffs. And the first swing of the bat, it's fair down the left field line. He'll take the trip around first base, head for 2, and he'll get there easily, sliding in safe for the double.
Great job by Jager Baldwin, Salt Lake Community College commit. First pitch swinging, sometimes that's the best pitch to hit, is that first pitch. And Jager Baldwin, good speed once he gets aboard, as you saw. Easy double. Did slide, didn't probably need to, as that one got all the way to the wall. Or not to the wall, but near the wall up there. 347 down the line and left. 380 here at Miller Park to the left center alleyway. 402 to straightaway center. 388 to right center, and it's 343 down the line in right. Saw a lot of hits and a lot of runs in the Bear River Desert Hills game earlier, but we didn't see any home runs.
Yeah, Ty Maynard now to the plate. He looks at the umpire behind us and says, "Hey, that grazed my arm." And the umpire just kind of shook his head. Nah, I didn't see it. So we play on with a 1-0 count here now to Ty Maynard. Getting runner on second, Jager Baldwin. Good double to start things off here for the Mustangs. Pitch, another one high and outside. High and inside, I should say, for ball 2.
Yeah, for Ty, I mean, twin brother Tate, both these guys productive. And hey, Ty's hitting 431 this year. Really, he's come alive with the bat.
Here's the pitch from Hansen. Fouled away. I almost caught a foul ball today, Dev. It was about 10 feet away from me. I reached out my hand, but, my arm's not 10 feet long, so I couldn't grab it. But I made the try,
You need the Inspector Gadget, Go-Go Gadget
I know.
arms.
I need some longer arms. Foul ball brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 3, now facing a 3-1 count. Ty Maynard. That's no outs and a runner on second.
It's a good pitch, though. It kind of froze him. It started at him and then breaks and just nibbling, but didn't quite get back over the plate. Got to locate that curve once in a while for strike, especially when you're, against a 431 hitter in Maynard. 8 doubles this year. Doesn't have a triple or doesn't have a home run, but definitely hitting for average. Maynard He's got a 542 OBP. His on-base percentage sky high. There's another
through the 5-7 gap. Baldwin's going to stop, and he decides to go. Had to put on the brakes, but there's a bobble of the pickup trying to get it off the ground. And Baldwin, who even hesitates at third, continues on.
Yeah, Jaeger, he's going to stop. There's no outs. But then when Bear did have trouble with the transition there and lost it on the exchange there, that's a good piece of hitting right through the hole between short and third. He's kind of coming up looking to crow hop and scoop it, and it just goes off the palm of the mitt and then shoots away, and that's when Baldwin easily comes home to score the first run of the game. And, you look at Crimson, they didn't score a run. 5-1 loss. Already here in the bottom of the first, getting a run. That's a good sign for Justin Abbott and the Mustangs offense.
First pitch strike to P.D. Soto. Looks at the next one outside for 1-1.
P.D. committed, it feels like over a year ago, to Utah Tech to play for Coach Fadenauer.
Hansen with the pitch. Off the end of the bat, just past the first baseman, rolls into right field. Maynard's going to round second and slide into third safely. That'll put one run in scoring position, another one on first. Still no outs.
Yep, and he's not trying to do too much of that. That's why he's a next-level kid, because Petey can take that outside pitch and just drive it through. Just kind of the hand-eye coordination is there. Kind of throw the bat at it, make good contact, get enough on it to rip it through that right side. You're holding the runner on at first, and now you got runners on the corners. And Brody Hansen, you kind of feel like he needs an out here. And this is not an easy guy. Even though he missed most of the season with a hamstring injury, Trey Evans is coming off of an unbelievable year last year.
Fouls that one away. And foul ball brought to you by Cache Valley Bank. Mountains await.
Trey Evans is just a junior. Had such a sensational sophomore season, but he's missed most of this year again. He was about to come back, and then he re-aggravated the hammy. And you know how those hammy injuries can linger. But he is good to go for this state tournament. And there's the
throw down to second on the steal, and Soto's there safely.
And Petey, good speed there. And I don't think Dawkey really wanted to. You saw the second baseman come in to be the shortcut in case he tries to go home. I like the design of that for Ridgeline defensively, but with no outs, that was pretty much straight steal. And obviously, if that ball's booted around, maybe Maynard tries to go score.
Evans now facing the 1-1 from Hansen. Here's the pitch, and it's in there, strike two.
And I'm sure Trey's, been getting a lot of BP, and I know the last week of the season got him some reps in I think it was the JV game, but just hasn't been healthy this year. But boy, oh boy, this kid can swing it.
And a swing and miss right there for strikeout and out number one of the inning.
Well, and that's a nice breaking ball. And that 12-6 falls off the table, and Evans just swings right over the top of it for strike three. That's a nice S&S mechanical strikeout. Brody Hansen really needed that one.
Breck Starley now stepping up to the plate. Yesterday started playing at first. We know him more as a catcher, though, of course. Today he's behind the dish. He sees that one outside for ball one. Runners on second and third, one out, and now facing a 1-0 count. Crimson's got on the board on the Wilkinson's House lighting scoreboard. One run across now, so it's a 1-0 ball game here in the bottom of the first. Here's the pitch. Another one low and away, ball two.
Breck Starley is built like a football player, isn't he?
Are you surprised he doesn't play football?
Yeah, because his brother was a great quarterback and actually played college back east. He's still playing, I believe.
This one popped up. Sent into center field. Maynard looking to tag up at third, and he will. Soto will stay at second, and the run will score.
Nice sac fly there for Breck Starley.
So now 2 outs on the board, 2 runs across for the Mustangs.
Brexton, one of the seniors on this team. Jager's a senior. Petey Soto, Aaron Morris, Javen Ross, all part of that senior class. Fonuela's a senior as well. get some other guys like Bo Sampson that we'll see pitch at some point in this state tournament, assuming the Mustangs keep winning. The other lefty ace on this Mustang team.
Tyler West now stepping up to the plate. He's got a runner on second. The pitch outside. It's ball one. It's 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 runs have come across. This is exactly what you want right now if you're Crimson. Just start out quick. They weren't able to do that the last game, so you know they were going to try to come out firing today, and so far so good for the Mustangs with the 2-0 lead. Looking to bunt. West sends it foul. Makes it a 1-1 count.
$4 o'clock. This game was a 4:40 start because of the length of the Bear River Desert Hills game. So a little behind schedule today, which will push everything back unless we get like a low-scoring pitchers duel. But you never know. That's why we play the games.
Yeah, yesterday we were here till about 11 or so. This one's fouled away.
Yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are long days. And then, you know, some teams, unfortunately, will get sent home and a little bit lighter schedule. You know, there's a chance you might not have any games on Thursday.
Yeah, that's true. Desert Hills the first team to be sent home after their loss to Bear River at the game just before this one. Hansen. And it's foul away. A little late on the swing there by West, but he keeps it alive at a 1-2 with 2 outs. Coach Jensen just has to be happy that he's staying alive up there in the batter's box.
Yeah, it's at West 417 batting average this year. 2 doubles, 3 triples, two dingers this year.
Another one fouled away.
And West has really good speed if he can get aboard.
The umpire has to go get a few more baseballs. Tyler West then too many foul.
Good umpire behind the dish, Mr. P. Norton.
It's Tyler West now facing a 1-2. Hansen working out of the stretch. Looks at Soto on second. Soto dancing around. Pitch outside. Counts even at 2.
I've done a lot of games with Preston Norton behind the dish. Worked a lot of high school, college games as well. Hansen wants to step off here. Didn't feel comfortable. You go from such an electric inning to now everybody's kind of like just filling each other out, starting fresh. But a good start by the Mustangs with already 2 runs across here.
Yeah, it's definitely early in this one. Again, bottom of the first, but 2 runs have come across for Crimson. The pitch to West right up the middle. That's going to bring Soto around third. He's going to head for home as West puts on the brakes at first. Keeps going to second. He'll get there safely as that ball's thrown into center field. And Clark is there to clean up the mess, leaving West with an RBI and standing on second.
And then West kind of swung a big hammer there at the end to celebrate, and then the whole dugout goes boom. A little orchestrated celebration. And West didn't hesitate to go to second when that ball was cut off as the throw came to the plate. The relay gets into center field, but 3-0. I mean, you couldn't have scripted it. And you kind of felt like maybe this was going to happen after yesterday. Crimson just got stymied offensively. And they've kind of exploded here out of the gate, which is not a good sign for Ridgeline and Brody Hansen.
Yeah, you don't want to start a game 3-0, but you look at what happened at the last game. Yeah. Desert Hills, they allowed 3 runs in the first inning to Bear River, and they came back. They had a shot.
Multiple shots.
It came down to the last pitch of the game.
Yep. Yeah, you just got to get this third out here. You don't want to give up another one. You still got a runner in scoring position. McKay Wright's got some pop, hitting 450 this year. I mean,
fouled away.
And that's the thing. I mean, as a team, Caden, Crimson hits collectively 386. You know, you compare that to Ridgeline as a team, they hit 319 as a team. So there's a lot of boppers on this Crimson lineup.
And you're happy to have a single player hit around the 380 mark, and when you have the whole team averaging that, That's solid. P.D. Soto, who's standing on second, as this one's popped up, should be out number 3. P.D. Soto's sitting close to batting 500 as the play is made by Blotter to round out the inning and retire the side. So we'll head to the top of the second. More when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network. KSL Sports, Crimson Cliffs leads 3-0.
Looking to
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you can still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the...
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Crimson Cliffs gets 3 runs on the board in the bottom of the first inning. 4 hits, 1 error by Ridgeline. And now we head to the top of the second inning, where Ridgeline looking to try to get themselves on the board. Stepping up to the plate first off is going to be Easton Dalkey.
Riverhawks catcher, number 7, Easton Dalkey.
Easton Dalkey, catcher behind the plate today, has made a couple of good stops. And now see what he can do with the bat in his hands. He steps into that right-handed batter's box, facing off against Javen Ross here for the Mustangs. Ross with the pitch. A little low. Ball 1. Coverage today brought to you by Rally Stop. Reminder that there's no better place to refuel than a Rally Stop. Stop on in today. Grab your soda, your treats. So this one's sent over to second base. Barbin grounds it with the glove, throws over to first, and that is out number 1.
A pretty routine 4-3 put out there. Ross, his defense make pretty easy play there. Barbin in second.
Pitcher, number 1, Javen Ross.
Brings up
Correction.
Cooper Clark now.
Yeah, freshman. This kid can play.
Playing center field today for the Riverhawks. So 1 out, no one on here in the top of the second. Ross with the pitch. Swung on and missed. Kept that one outside of the zone for strike 1.
Clark hitting 400 on the button, 5 doubles, 4 triples. How about 4 home runs for the freshman? Bright future. The future is now. I mean, with those numbers.
Ridgeline's definitely set up for good futures. This one, another swing and a miss for strike 2. 0-2 count.
Yeah, I mean, you look down the roster, you got 1-2 seniors on the entire team. Max Bear, your left fielder, and Easton Dalkey, your catcher.
That one's fouled away as well.
That's it. 2 seniors. So everybody except those 2 guys back for next year. Justin Jensen, the skipper of the Riverhawks, loves that.
Stays alive with the 1-2 count. Excuse me, the 0-2 count. 1 out. Ross. Set. And the pitch. It's high and away. Ball 1.
You know, a lot of people were maybe a little bit surprised that Ross didn't start game 1 yesterday. And obviously Osborne pitched well. The bats just weren't there. And here he is, day 2.
Another pitch high for ball 2. 2-2 count.
You'd assume Sampson, if they were to win this game, be the guy tomorrow.
We still have Aaron Morris locked in, ready to go.
And
grounder over to short. Soto backhands, throw to first. It's there for out number 2.
Pretty smooth out there at short, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got it covered out there.
Doing a little waggle celebration. Crimson, for pressure being on the defending state champs losing yesterday, they seem pretty loose today to me.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good out there.
Obviously, it helps when you jump out with 3 runs on 4 hits in the first inning.
Now it's Max Bears stepping up. Bear with his first at-bat here today. Here's the pitch, and it's Cache Valley Bank foul ball.
Yep, Bear just mentioned one of the 2 seniors on the squad. You know, kind of a tough spot for Ridgeline. And really, I mean, you're not expecting Crimson, right? They're the 2 seed. You know, and so you got to go through Dixie, and then second day you got Crimson Cliffs, the 2 and the 3 seed here. This is kind of a tough draw for the 6 seed Riverhawks in this bracket as it's played out. They're not just happy to be here, though, Cade. And then we got a lot of baseball to go.
I still got a long week ahead of us. It's only Tuesday. We got about 5 more days left of baseball to play. So, again, Thursday is kind of an optional. We'll see what happens for Thursday's games. Those are if necessary. We'll know more, of course, tomorrow. As that was a late swing, a little bit of a hitch in that one, making it a 1-2 count.
I don't know if Ridgeline in Region 10 sees a lefty like Ross, though.
He's almost one of a kind anyways.
Sub 1 ERA.
And a swing and a miss for strike 3, out number 3 to retire the side. Javen Ross up there delivering through 2 innings as we head to the bottom of the second here on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com. Stick around.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bright Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Home, because home is who we are.
Welcome back in here to the Boulevard Home broadcast. It's 3-0. Crimson Cliffs looking to extend that 3-0 lead as they'll be stepping up to the plate here shortly. Now, softball going on as well over here at BYU. Not today, though. They're going to be getting started over here at BYU. I believe tomorrow is when they start.
Correct.
Over here. So, but they do have games going on. Again, starting tomorrow. So Ridgeline, Mountain Crest, Snow Canyon, and Crimson Cliffs, Bear River, Cedar, Desert Hills, and Skyview. Those are the matchups.
Yeah, got a couple interesting matchups there right out of the gate. Of course, Ridgeline softball team, the 1 seed. Bear River, the 2 seed. Desert Hills, the 3 seed. Top 3 seeds.
Outside pitch for ball 1.
I keep seeing on this turf field, guys on the mound and in the plate reach down. There is a film of sand so they can kind of get a little bit of moisture and sweat off their hands.
Fouled away by Maynard.
Yep, this is Tate.
And Tate over there playing third base today.
They are identical twins, Ty and Tate.
And it's one thing to have to try to tell them apart by looking at them. It's another one when it says T. Maynard on your score sheet, too, huh?
Yeah, just got to remember.
Which one's which.
Got to
the
remember
numbers.
Tate wears 8.
Yep. Ty over on first base. And the pitch. Hard up the middle. Fielded over at second. Throw to first is there from Hansen to Jensen. for out number 1 to leadoff batter here in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, you like to see that range out of your second baseman. Hansen goes over near the bag, backhand stab, and then good throw.
Brings up Still Barbin, second base for the Mustangs. Got some time on the mound yesterday for a little bit. First pitch, it's in there, strike 1.
Yeah, Barbin on a fastball got a triple, bases clearing triple hit off of him that kind of blew that game open and kind of made it a 5-1 win for Green Canyon. You don't want to remember that. Sure he'd love another chance later in the week to get back out on the bump, though. Of course, the quarterback got Crimson to a state championship game in football. Be back for his senior season, just a junior next fall. He's not thinking about that right now. He's thinking about trying to get something off of Bodie Hansen, excuse me.
Here's the pitch from Hansen. High, and Barbin thought about that one for just a little bit. He got a twist in there, but saw it coming in high, laid off of it. It's a 1-2 now. Hansen delivers. Swung on, miss. Out number 2 on the strikeout.
Yep, another S&S-K there. S&S Mechanical, our strikeout sponsor. Keeping track of the K meter in this one. Of course, we saw Ross already get a couple of Ks, and now Hansen trying to get a couple of Ks. That is his second.
Jigger Baldwin back up, 1 for 1 already. Looking to lay down a bunt. Sends it over to the pitcher. The throw to first. It's there. That will round out the inning with 3 up, 3 down. Ridgeline, the defense, takes control here. We'll see what they can do as they head back to try to score some runs here in the top of the third when we come back on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Crimson Cliffs leads right now 3-0 over Ridgeline, but Ridgeline getting ready to step back up here to the plate shortly. Want to thank our sponsors for today's game. Red Bed Regeneration, we're looking for that energy play. You can go check out their red light therapy beds. They're there to heal scars, inflammation, decrease pain, help people burn fat faster. Go to redbedregen.com.
You know, kind of an important early moment of the game here for Ridgeline. You know, you got 1 hit off Ross. That was a Purser double, but you couldn't do anything with him with 2 outs. And you find yourself down 3-0. You got to chip away. Every pitch, every bat, you know, find a way to get base runners aboard and then try to move them into scoring position. Be interesting to see if Coach Jensen, you know, if he does get some base runners, tries to play a little bit of small ball, if he'll just let the guys swing away.
Javen Ross on the mound, going up against Rami Jensen as he takes a swing and a miss for strike 1.
You know, yesterday they were wearing those action greens, and they got the pinstripe navy today. So complete contrast in uniforms for Ridgeline. They're both good looking, don't get me wrong.
Another swing and a miss here for Jensen.
Got to remember that's coming from a Seattle Seahawks fan, though. I love the action green.
You know, Seattle's got this thing. It's kind of like the Pittsburgh thing, too, where they got all of the teams, for whatever reason, right? They're rocking that navy blue. You got 2 teams now that are kind of picking up that green with the Kraken. They'll use a little bit of it. And And another swing and a miss. 3 swings, 3 misses, and it's a strikeout for out number 1 for Javen Ross.
Yeah, Ross, another K to hang on the board. That's his 3rd S&S mechanical strikeout.
Ian Dolly now stepping up. Trying to get this Ridgeline team on the board. 3 quick runs from Crimson in the first inning. Puts them up, of course, 3-0 here. And Ross with the pitch. A little bit of a late swing there by Dolly for strike 1.
Of course, just a reminder, this is just game 2 today. We got Green Canyon Dixie coming up around 5:30. Mountain Crest Snow Canyon, the nightcap tonight around 8 o'clock.
And another miss. Strike 2. 1 out on the board. 0-2 count here in the top of the 3rd inning. Javen Ross, so far, only allowing 1 hit. As another swing and a miss. 3 swings, 3 misses for out number 2. So now we're looking at 6 pitches, 2 outs. Now facing the 3rd batter of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, really just the 1 run yesterday against Dixie's Braxton Yates, who had 8 Ks. Trey Purser had a double already in this game and had a double and an RBI yesterday for their only run of the game. But where does the other production come from? Ridgeline got to find some guys to find their way aboard.
Blotter looks at the first one a little high for ball 1. 0 for 1 his last at bat.
Junior, 5'10", Cam Blotter.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. Looking to bunt. Missed it. Was not able to pull it back, so it's 1-1 count. No runners on.
And Ross looks like he has his good stuff today, doesn't he? He looks really dialed.
I was just going to say, Javen Ross looks like he's comfortable. He's in a comfortable position right now, throwing some really good stuff. Rocking the blue glove as well. Off-speed pitch. Stays outside, doesn't break down where he wants it to. And it's now 2-1 count. Steps off the back of the mound. We'll reset here on a 2-1. 2 outs. It's Blotter up to bat here for the Riverhawks. And Ross with the pitch. Inside. Blotter now looking at a 3-1. Count definitely in his favor now. Looking to try to get a rally stop, 2-out rally going here. And the pitch from Ross. In there. It's now a full count. Javen Ross delivers a strike to keep it alive without sending that runner to first.
Of course, Javen Ross announced back in the fall last year going to Salt Lake Community College to play his baseball.
And walked. Close pitch. Starley tried to frame it there for him.
The second baseman, number 23, Hayden Hansen.
Brings up Hayden Hansen again.
That's a good battle, though. You find a way aboard. Need base runners right now. Try to get Ross's pitch count up a little bit. Here in the 30s at 36 pitches right now, which is pretty efficient with 2 outs.
Yeah, not too bad. And it's in there for strike 1 to Hansen.
Yeah, just catching the top of the K zone.
You know, we made mention of this yesterday during the Ridgeline game. One of the newer schools in the state, and a school that is no stranger to already having great athletic programs.
Both these schools are the two newest in 4A at least.
Yeah. Crimson Cliff's the newest in Region 10. Ridgeline the newest in Region 11. Crimson Cliffs already has won one state championship for baseball, and this year they're trying to make it two, but they have an uphill battle. This one, it's hit right to first. Maynard with the easy play for out number 3. And it remains scoreless for Ridgeline. Crimson Cliffs still with 3 on the board, as we now head to the bottom of the third inning.
And trivia question for you. And some of you Ridgeline viewers probably listening on the live stream will probably know the answer to this, but when did Ridgeline open? That's your trivia question for today's game. We'll get the answer when we come back.
When we come back after this here on KSLSports.com and the Fan Sports Network.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Coming up. Right now it's Ty Maynard to lead off for the Mustangs. The trivia answer, Devin.
August of 2016 is when Ridgeline opened their doors in Cache Valley. Crimson was 3 years later. They opened in August of 2019. Of course, then you get into the COVID years, and obviously they kind of got the spring sports shut down across the state of Utah. Not much anybody could do about that, though.
No. 1-1 is the count. Ty Maynard rounding off the first inning, making the play himself at first, and he launches this one into center. It has a chance to drop. Oh, the play is made. What a play by the freshman.
Cooper Clark. Clark just, I see him, man. He's flying. He's going full tilt. Never stops running, fully extends, and what, he catches 6 inches off? Let's take a look. Where does he catch this? How high off the turf? And it's kind of that dirty bomb, as I like to call it. It's kind of in no man's land. And look at him. He's losing the hat. He caught it a foot off the ground, probably.
Yeah, he was right on top of it, though. Read it perfectly, able to get there in time. Is now P.D. Soto. Steps up to the plate, facing the 1-0.
He didn't even have his driver's license making plays like that. I love that.
Fouls that one away, evens up the count at 1 apiece. That's definitely high on our list now for the Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game. Morgan Pest Control has been defending your home against bugs, rodents for over 60 years in southern Utah. Swing and a miss by Soto for strike number 2.
You know, and I know it's 3-0, you're trailing, but that's kind of a momentum-building play. You know, you get a little bloop single there, and then Crimson can go to work. For Bodie Hansen, get that first out of the inning, nobody on base, kind of something you can build off of.
Inside pitch to Soto for ball 2, evens it up. And Bodie Hansen on the mound with the pitch out of the windup. Another one high. Soto's worked this one full.
Temperature today, 74. A little cooler today than yesterday, a little bit more overcast.
Yeah, we got some wind as well. Kind of blowing up against the mountain as Soto sends this one on a high trajectory. Can they get there? And it's just foul. Just foul by maybe about 2 feet. Off the base of the wall. He was already standing on second.
Yeah, that had triple written all over it if it's a couple feet to the right. But you pull it down the line. The wind is actually what wind there is right now, is it keeps kind of fluttering. Was pushing that further foul, I believe. And he'll go back and get his BB Court bat and go back to work with a full count here.
You mentioned this is last at-bat, but P.D. Soto playing ball at the next level, staying in St. George, going to be headed to Utah Tech University. Here's the pitch, and he pops this one up foul. And lands in the stands. He'll stay alive at the 3-2 count after the Cache Valley Bank foul ball.
And Bodie Hansen already 44 pitches. Soto's already 1 for 1 in this game with a run scored back in that 3-run first inning for the Mustangs.
And another one fouled away. You know what this is doing? This pitch count of Hansen's just going to keep going up. It's a full count, and now 3 that have fouled away since it's been a full count. So those numbers, those pitch count numbers, just keep ticking on up here. This one sent into shallow center. It's caught, though, in outfield by Clark.
Yeah, good swing. Just line drive out to center field. And sometimes you hit it hard and just right to somebody. And that was the case there for P.D. Soto. He loved the swing. He's seeing it well. Just lines out.
Trey Evans now up to the plate. And fouls that one away immediately on the first pitch.
Yeah, and Trey's got to be careful here not to press too much. You know, he missed the whole season with the hamstring. He's finally healthy. You know, he wants to get back to his hitting ways from his sophomore season where he was tremendous, hitting over 400 with power.
Good swing of the bat, sends it into center. Clark going back on it, and he'll be there easily to make the play. And that's out number 3 of the inning. We head to the top of the 4th when we come back here on the Fan Sports Network in KSLSports.com.
In Utah, we love our sports. At KSL, we live and breathe sports, wherever the action is.
Look who we found in Pasadena.
We're there, wherever you are. Tune in, on air, online, and on the new KSL Sports app. We cover it all, from high school to pro, and the only radio team that's home to the Utah Jazz. KSL Sports Live and KSL Sports Zone, the one team that never stops tracking your teams.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer, or stop by any branch.
Clara and in Hurricane, think Bucks.
Crimson Cliffs takes the field to warm up here at the top of the 4th inning, where they lead 3-0 over the Riverhawks. Those 3 runs coming across the board in the first inning and have yet to get back on top here. But Ridgeline trying to make their way back into this one.
That's going to be tough against Javen Ross. 3 innings of work, 1 hit. Walked 1, struck out 4 already. Working that slider, working that fastball. I haven't seen it change much. But he's got it in the bag if he needs it.
And Ridgeline's going to be leading off with the 3, 4, 5 spots here. Trey Purser will be the first one up to the plate. Now, you got to wonder if this Ridgeline team was able to get back to the hotel and take some rest, right? Get a little bit of sleep. It was a late night with that game against the Flyers. So hopefully they're able to rest up for this game here this afternoon on this Tuesday matchup.
Yeah, I'm sure the coaches didn't get much sleep. The kids might have. The coaches are probably looking at stats, looking at the opponent, trying to figure out kind of, you know, what they'd have to do to try to match the defending state champs here in an elimination game. Winner will move on to tomorrow. Loser season comes to an end.
Javen Ross continues on the bump for the Mustangs. Facing off against Purser. Here's the pitch. Slow for ball 1.
By the way, the winner of this game will play at 1:30 tomorrow. 1:30. This loser's season comes to an end. That 1:30 game will be over at Utah Valley, Brent Brown Ballpark.
Well hit into right field. Baldwin going back on it. And he's there to make the grab. Jager Baldwin gets out number 1 of the inning on a fantastic play in right field.
Yeah, he's also going to Salt Lake Community College because he can do things like that. Playing a little bit shallower. I mean, it's lifted high, but he's got to turn, and he's got to, not sprint, but he's got to get to it, and right over the shoulder, eyes it the whole way. It's a really solid play out there in right field by Baldwin.
That's a tough play as well. Yeah. So 1 out now on the board here in the top of the 4th inning. Hansen, the pitcher today for the Riverhawks, up to the plate. Faces an early count of 1-0. Here's the pitch. And swung on, missed, evens the count at 1.
And you can see Ross staying down in the zone. He's throwing a couple fastballs at the top of the K zone, but a lot of stuff working down in the zone. Not elevating it.
Third pitch of the at-bat is away for a 2-1.
And didn't miss Starley's mitt by much, just a little bit down and in. But that's kind of where Starley was set up.
Ross with the pitch. And fouled away. It'll leave the count at 2 on the Cache Valley Bank foul ball.
I haven't seen anybody hiking that switchback trail up to the Y here in the mountain ranges behind Miller Park. Have you, Caden?
I haven't noticed, so I'm going to say no. It's a tough hike, though. A lot of incline on that one. Outside, full count now for Bodie Hansen. Bodie Hansen's 0 for 1 today.
A pretty good view from up there, though. Pretty good view here from the press box.
And the pitch. Strike 3. Another SNS Mechanical strikeout. 5 of them for Javen Ross.
Yeah, I mean, definitely heading for a double-digit K day if he keeps this up. Solid from Javen Ross. Tough to find him. Crafty, lefty, with his command on spot today. He's got Starley, who he trusts behind the dish.
Dalkey now stepping up. Fouls that one back.
Dalkey hitting .342, 4 doubles, 1 home run this year. One of just 2 seniors on this roster for Coach Jensen.
And the pitch. Good breaking ball. Got him chasing one low and away for strike 2.
Yeah, that off speed. When you come with the mid to upper 80s and then you come back with that off speed pitch, throws your timing off.
Mm-hmm.
See if he stays with the off speed. Nope. Came with high cheese.
Yeah, high fastball for ball 1. This game getting started a little late today. The first game went quite long in an 11-10 win for Bear River. Sent down the third baseline, foul.
Yeah, and a tip of the cap to Bear River, man. Heck of a gutsy effort. Had the lead, lost the lead. Was tied late. Nether Hills retook the lead. They tied it. And then he'll go into the 7th. Bear River takes a 2-run lead. Nether Hills gets one of the 2 they needed back. Left the bases loaded. Exciting finish.
Great finish.
Bear River's going to be a tough out, kid.
Yeah, they're going to be good. Another one inside. Dalkey has to jump back out of the way of it, and it goes to a 2-2 count.
I mean, you look at how they had Snow Canyon on the ropes until Ryder Harrison hit a walk-off. They almost beat the number 1 seed. 2-2 if they can survive through tomorrow and get to, back to their ace, Deegan Rigby, nobody wants to face him.
Outside. Give credit to Dahlke for working the count full here now with 3-2. 2 outs. And Ross with the pitch. Fouled away. Dahlke stays alive.
Pitch count for Ross. Pretty good right now. 54 pitches. Thrown 37 pitches for strikes today. So you like that he's around the plate.
And another one fouled away. These full counts are going to send our pitchers in this game. Both of them have faced a few batters that are going full counts and fouling them away. So those pitch counts will continue to rise. And pitching is one of those storylines in the playoffs, right? Which team can keep their best pitchers available for longer?
Like I said earlier in this game, I think if Coach Abbott could get 5 from Javen Ross and go to Morris.
Another one popped up foul.
Keep Javen under 85. He might want to give him more rest, but to have the option to go back to him and keep the pitch count to where you just have to have 2 days rest. Morris hasn't pitched this week, so he's got plenty of pitches under his belt.
And another one fouled away.
That's the thing. I mean, if there was a team built to come through the win-loss bracket, or the one-loss side of the bracket, it's Crimson. I mean, you got Fonwela that can throw touch 90. You got Barbin that can throw gas. You got Bo Sampson, Aaron Morris, Javen Ross. You got Osborne, who started yesterday. They have a lot of Chalice can pitch. I mean, they got a lot of pitching.
Yeah. A good deep bullpen can pay a lot. This one's sent towards second. Barbin rushes in on it. Throw to first. It's there for out number 3. Crimson Cliffs able to keep the Riverhawks at bay. No hits. No one on as we now head to the bottom of the 4th inning here on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
cheesesteak
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Crimson Cliff stays on top and looking to stretch out that lead here as they're going to be heading into the batter's box. 3-0. Mustangs on top of the Riverhawks.
Yeah, appreciate some of our great sponsors. House of Jump, trampolines, climbing walls, dodgeball. They got video games. Check out all their party packages at houseofjump.com. Of course, as always, we'll be handing out some awards today. We have an award for everything, Caden, here on the state championships. We got, Pen Blaster Blast of the Game, our Appliance Wholesalers Plus Playmaker Play of the Game. They got one of the nicest showrooms in southern Utah. Get your GE, Samsung, washers, dishwashers, laundry sets from the boys at AWP. Got Morgan Pest Control Defensive Play of the Game.
First pitch to Brexton Starley is high for ball 1.
Breck's one of the league leaders in home runs.
And he says this one through the 5-6 gap for a base hit.
Yeah, not a home run, but a really solid piece of hitting there from Breck Starley. Starley, solid defensively behind the dish. He can play the corners for you. And obviously, OBP is 579. Slugging percentage 912. His OPS 1.491. I mean, those are eye-popping numbers from Starley, hitting 439. 38 RBIs this year. That is 13. Head first to the third base. Really didn't have to there, but not risking anything.
He was following coach's orders out there. Coach was telling him to get down, so he did. So, which you want that, right? Popped up foul.
Now you got a 5-0 lead. And adding to those 3 runs in the first, 2 more here in the fourth, and Wright's still down there third. And nobody out. Hansen's pitch count still 56 pitches, so he's fine.
And Bodie Hansen here with an 0-2 count against him.
You're just seeing a couple guys hop out of the dugout and head down to the bullpen here for Ridgeline.
High pitch for 1-2. Yeah, a couple guys heading over there. Easton Hammond, a freshman, heading out there with Nate Dolly. So we'll see who ends up on the bump. right back at the pitcher. It's a base hit and RBI to put Tate Maynard on first. Send that run around to score.
Yeah, and there is no tomorrow if you're Ridgeline, but maybe you feel like Hansen's starting to labor a little bit. Crimson going through the lineup again. In some cases there for the third time, trying to really get a beat on him. Maybe giving some time to warm up, or maybe just talking things over here. We'll see.
Well, two different guys warming up in the bullpen right now for Ridgeline, so we'll see who they do end up pulling out of there first. But
I don't think he's going to come get him. I think he's going to leave him in.
Coach does have the ball in his hand. He's going to go talk to the umpire, though. Maybe the ball in his hand is just one of those that he wants to
maybe call a foul ball or something.
Yeah.
Bodie Hand's going to stay in this game. He's at 59 pitches. Now, remember, if you go over 61, you got to have 2 days rest. But again, there is no tomorrow. So if he's your best option, down 6-0, then you stay with Bodie Hansen, and that's what they're saying here.
Yeah, but then again, it's still Barbin goes and gets a base hit, puts a runner on third, then you might second guess that, and you put someone in earlier. As this one's a little bit of a hit and run. The run ends up on second, pushes it over to first for the out. So runner now advances to second, 1 out, on.
And back to the top of the order, Jacob Baldwin for the third time through.
Baldwin is 1 for 2 here today, whatever time of day it is here.
Late afternoon. Yeah.
We're just talking about how these first 3 days we have 4 ball games every single day. Later in the week, learn this from experience. Eventually they all just kind of blend together, and we just keep on rolling. It's just baseball after baseball after baseball, and we're still just getting started here on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm not sure if there's a substitution going on.
Yeah.
Or if Jager Baldwin didn't realize he was the next up to bat.
No, he was out there. He was ready.
Maybe they made him go. Sometimes they make him go change a helmet around or put the bat back.
Maybe grab the wrong bat. Who knows?
Maybe grab the wrong bat. Here's the pitch. Inside to Baldwin for ball 1.
Yeah, if you're Bodie Hansen right now, you're just thinking, okay, 1 pitch at a time. I got 1 out. Still a lot of baseball left.
Pitch. Looked to bunt, pulled back on it. Ball 2.
You look at Hansen, 3 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, all earned. He's only struck out 2. But he's been around the plate. 40 of his 62 pitches have been for strikes.
Baldwin sends this one sky high off of a bunt. Hit the top of the bat and just sent it rocketing upwards for out number 2.
Yeah, and Jensen, that's probably the easiest out defensively that they've made. As that was just elevated off the bunt attempt and easy play, ran in 5 or 6 steps there. And
this Ridgeline team is really good about defending the bunt. You have Jensen at first, who comes running in once he sees bunt. He's coming running in. Hansen on second runs over to cover first. Let the pitcher and the catcher just take care of their own thing. Sent hard to third. It runs right past third. Going around the base, head for home. The throw to home is not going to be there in time. It's an RBI single for Maynard, who now on first.
Yeah.
Sends his brother around.
Multi-hit game there for Ty. Really good job driving it, pulling it through the hole. Yeah, he hit it hard, right? Even though it kind of catches a little bit there of Blotter. Or not Purser. Sorry, that was Purser. You're just hitting it hard, and that's a tough play for him to make. So pick up another run, 7-0, and now you're starting to worry about the 10-run rule here if Crimson keeps it going.
Yeah, now they're looking to put on a rally stop, 2-out rally. So far, 2 runs have come across. Or excuse me, 2 runs with 2 outs on, I believe. 4 in this inning. Soto pops this one up. That should be the end of the inning, and it is. Jensen Henson is there to make the catch, but not after 4 runs come across from Crimson Cliffs. They make it a 7-0 ball game against Ridgeline as we now head to the top of the 5th inning here on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com. Don't go anywhere.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News
with every
today.
wash, get 10 cents off per gallon of gas at Fabulous Freddy's.
It's 7-0 where Crimson Cliffs now leads. Javen Ross still on the mound for the Mustangs. He's been delivering quite well today. I believe he's at 5 strikeouts. Let me just double check that. He's been having himself a game, though. Been playing really well. He's at 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk and 1 hit. Done pretty well for himself here through 4 innings, now heading into the top of the 5th inning. I want to thank our sponsors for today's broadcast. One of our great sponsors, Mountain Land Supply. They feature Bryant, Southern Utah's premier heating and cooling systems for your home and commercial property. It's Bryant, whatever it takes.
Love our partners. Love our partners. Helping us get these games on the air for you on the radio and on the live stream. Exciting to team up with KSL again for the state tournament. Helped out in football and basketball, and now doing it again at baseball. We'll be up here all week long. It's a good work trip if you can get it.
Good work trip, yeah.
This weather and this backdrop. I mean, I love the UVU, love Miller Park. 2 great stadiums here to call some high school state championship baseball, no question.
That's right. Cooper Clark with the swing and miss for strike 1.
Peyton Goobler. It was tough watching Peyton walk up and down with the sling on his arm. Former Desert Hills Thunder. He was here watching his former mates. Pitcher for BYU. Had to shut his season down due to an injury.
One of those athletes, as that one comes across for ball 1-1.
And they could have used him on the mound, too, this year.
Yeah.
One of the guys that they were counting on for some innings for Coach Pratt.
One of these guys that had his name called in the MLB amateur draft, but then again, you know, ends up going to BYU to further his experience at the college level and a base hit.
Yeah, the freshman. I like this kid, Cooper Clark.
Yeah, he does it all. He made probably what's still, I mean, for me, it's still number 1 on the list right now is our Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game with a diving catch out in center field. Jager Baldwin trying to give him a run for his money with an over-the-shoulder catch out in right field. But still, one big defensive play, and now he's on the board with a single. Brings up Max Baer.
Definitely a kid to keep an eye on as he continues to work and get better, and he's already sensational.
Outside pitch from Ross.
He looks like a next-level kid as a freshman, though, like speed.
Height.
Yeah.
He's got it all.
Doesn't play like a freshman, I'll tell you that.
So Bear facing a 1-0 count. Runner on first. No outs here from Crimson. Here's the pitch. And it's in there for strike 1. One thing that I've noticed about Javen Ross, he doesn't check a lot of runners down there at first. He just lets them be. He just worries about the batter. He doesn't throw down to first all that often. Will every so often, but not too often.
Yeah, and that's good and bad. I mean, you can spin that either way, right? You can spin it like, hey, he's focused on the guy. He's got confidence. He's not even going to get past second base.
He throws down right as we make mention of it. He must have heard us talking.
You do want to make sure, though, that they're not getting that big lead, because Clark does have really good speed. And you're down 7-0. You could try to be aggressive here and throw a little hit and run down.
Yeah, there's definitely some insurance runs on the board right now, so you can have a little wiggle room, have some fun on the defensive side, try to make those plays.
There's Senior at the plate and Bear.
Beautiful fastball down the middle for strike 2.
Bear 0 for 1 so far in this one.
The
Defense
Fan
play.
Sports Network. KACCAN.
Defense playing pretty much straight up here.
HD3 St. George.
Ty West, like right behind the bag out there near that Y in the turf on the synthetic field grass.
And this one is going to go right to Baldwin in right field. The runner didn't tag up. He's not going to be there. That's a double play.
That's a mistake there. Jaeger was playing in.
He played in a lot, and that was a shallow hit to right field from there.
When he hit it, you thought it was dropping, right? But then you look out to the outfield, and Jaeger Baldwin, I don't know if it's a sixth sense or what, he was just playing in. I mean, this is kind of one of those little dirty bombs that sometimes it wasn't that far out there, but he was playing in. Didn't have to come in too far at all, and then just a mistake there not to freeze and look back to see where Baldwin was, and gets doubled up. Quickly, just like that, 2 away.
2 away, no one on. You always love getting that leadoff batter on base. But the double play puts it away for Crimson Cliffs now. 2 outs. Facing a count of 1-0 here. It's Jensen. Jensen made the final out of the top of the inning. Or should I say the bottom of the 4th to head to the top. And the pitch from Ross. Just off target. 2-1.
And Ross is now, over that 61 pitch threshold. He's up to 67. So, if he stays below 85, though, he could still come back on 2 days rest. So that's the next thing to kind of watch for here with Ross working here into the top of the 5th inning. And he has a 7-0 lead.
Yeah, and if you're Crimson right now, you're thinking we're 3 runs away from a 10-run inning.
Yeah, and just on cue, I think Fuenwela heads to the bullpen. So maybe Coach Abbott thinking the same thing. Ross, we kind of talked about in the pregame. If he can give you 5, maybe you go to Morris, but with a 7-0 lead, that plan maybe changed a little bit. And you go
maybe
to
save Morris for tomorrow. That one outside, full count.
I mean, Morris is so multi-dimensional, right? He's been the closer, but then they gave him a couple late starts during the season just to give him some work, and he wants the ball every night.
And he's good with the ball. You want to have Morris on the bump as much as you can as well. This ends up being a walk.
And just the second of the game given up by Javen Ross. I talked to Coach Abbott during the season a little bit about that. I said, what's giving you a headache right now? He's like, there's not enough innings to go around. I got so many guys to pitch. So we're doing interstraws and we're throwing bullpens and we're trying to keep guys' arms fresh and live. But as far as varsity innings, there's just not enough to go around.
Yeah.
Especially when you're matched up against Dixies and the Snow Canyons during the regular season and big key matchups, fighting for RPI seeding.
Ross working out of the stretch. The pitch in there, strike 1.
With that final week of the season, even Morris, they started against Hurricane in one of the 2 games.
Runner on first. Count is 0-1 here with 2 outs in the pitch. Swung on. Ross will field it. He'll throw it to first. And it's there for out number 3 of the inning. As Dolly cannot make it there in time. And with that, Crimson Cliffs will head to the bottom of the 5th inning with a 7-0 lead. 3 more runs from Crimson Cliffs. They could win this one. If not, we'll head to the top of the 6th after that. But more coming up next here on KSLSports.com and the Fan Sports Network.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cash Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
Ridgeline trailing to Crimson Cliffs right now, 7-0. Trying to find a way to stay alive in this one. It's an elimination game as well, so if Ridgeline cannot hold on, they will have to head back up to Cache Valley empty-handed here in the 4A State Baseball Tournament. I want to thank one of our sponsors for bringing us today's ball game. Got to thank Intermountain Sports Performance. It's time for summer training. Of course, there's no off season, so get locked in right now with Intermountain Sports Performance. Locations all across Utah. Logan to St. George. Call for their summer training options. 435-251-2299.
Do have a pitching change, so that'll be it for Bodie Hansen as the 6'3 freshman, yes, freshman, Easton Hammond has come in. It's a Nets on Fire pitching change. Appreciate Nets on Fire. 5.31 ERA, 2-0 record. He's made 10 appearances this year, 31 2/3 work, struck out 51. That's good. You love the 51 strikeouts, but the walks have been really high, 37 walks. But, you know, freshman, you'll get more command.
Yeah.
6'3", big, strong lefty here for Coach Jensen.
With a few of the freshmen that we've already seen from this Ridgeline team, I can only assume that 2 and 3 years from now, this could be a stacked Ridgeline team. I'm excited for their future.
Hammond didn't pitch last night, so
Trey Evans up to the plate to lead off.
They can use as many pitches as he's good for here. There is no tomorrow. Down 7-0. You need him to try to slow this Crimson offense down, and still got a couple innings to try to go rattle the bats, but running out of time here.
Here's the 2-0. Fouled away from Evans.
And Trey didn't get a hit. He walked a couple times yesterday, so still looking for his first hit of the season, which is crazy to think, but you got to remember he was hurt all year.
Mm-hmm. Pitch slow. 3-1 count.
Flew out deep to center in his last at bat. Thought maybe he was going to beat Clark, but Clark tracked it down.
3-1 count. Here's Hammond. This one's hit in center. And making the play is Clark for out number 1.
Had a good job by Hammond there. Pitching to contact, letting your center fielder range over, make that catch. Really just had to come in a few steps, and it was there.
Yeah, make sure you trust your defense, right? As a pitcher, you want to trust that the guys are going to stay behind you and get the job done. Clark getting the job done. Brings up Breck Starley. An inside pitch for ball 1.
And, you kind of feel like it's just start of the year for Evans, and I think he's just going to keep getting better and start seeing it better as the week goes on.
Outside, ball 2, 2-0 count. We're here at BYU. Larry H. Miller Field. An all-turf field. Starley rocks that one foul for a 2-1 count now. BYU, home of the Cougars and the Cougar Tail. They advertise the Cougar Tail here. Have you ever had a Cougar Tail before?
Is that like a corn dog?
It is basically a giant maple bar. Giant maple bar donut.
I have not.
They're selling them in the concessions here today, so if you plan on coming up, got to give that a try as well.
Did you have one?
I haven't had one today or yesterday. I haven't had one on this trip.
Well, you've had them before.
Yeah, they're good. It's a staple of BYU athletics is the cougar tail. Starley pops this one up down the right field line and heads just out of play.
Now you got me intrigued. It's getting towards dinner time here. 5:09. I'm going to be pushed back on the Dixie game.
We thought we might as Starley walks.
Yeah, the length of that first game, 27 hits and 21 runs.
Yeah, it was definitely a lengthy ball game between.
And it didn't even go extra innings. It just went scheduled 7.
Desert Hills and Bear River. Bear River moves on. They'll face the winner of, or should I say they'll face the loser of the Snow Canyon Mountain Crest game.
Correct, yep. That's the 1 seed versus the 5 seed. Mountain Crest, the 5 seed in this 4A state bracket. That's the nightcap tonight. We won't know that till probably about 11 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, we're not going to know for a while. Same with this one. If Crimson Cliffs holds on here with their 7-0 lead, if they hold on, they will face the loser of the Dixie Green Canyon game tomorrow.
Yep, I think 1:30, the scheduled start time of that one. Do start a little bit earlier tomorrow. I think 11:30 and then 1:30 are the first 2 start times.
Yeah, a little bit different tomorrow. They have it at 11 a.m. and then, 11 a.m., 1:30, 4:30, and 7. That one away for ball 3. 3-0 count here for West.
Yeah, and West is 2 for 2. I mean, showing a little patience here, waiting for Hammond to throw him strike.
And he'll walk. Puts a runner on first and second. 1 out here. The game-winning run walking up to the plate right now.
Yeah, and 14 pitches thrown, but only 4 for strikes right now. So you're coming in, you're cold, you're out of the bullpen, and you got to find the zone. And this is a Crimson team that good plate discipline. A quick little meeting on the mound. Dawkey came out and meeting's over. Let's go back to live action. What do you say to him?
I think it's just one of those talks where it's like, hey, you know what, just get us out. We're close. There's 4 outs on the bags right now. Double play gets you out of the inning, right?
Yeah, hey, what do you want to throw here? Let's just play catch, because right now, another ball. And
yeah, I remember, I'll be honest, I didn't play past my early teenage years in baseball, but when I was up on the mound anytime, it was always just, hey, if you're struggling, just play catch, right?
Chopper.
Just a reminder to play catch. Throw over to first. It's there for out number 2, but the runners advance to second and third.
But that's what Hammond needed there. Slow roller, grounder, get the force over there at first. Didn't really have that one hit hard enough to try to turn 2 or anything, or try to go to the bag unassisted at third and get the leadoff runner. So really the only play there was first base. And Purser made the play routinely.
Yep. Tate Maynard now steps up to the box. Again, with 2 outs, anything could happen here. We could see runs coming around to score. Out number 3. Can they hold them off? What can Ridgeline do here? Is the pitch from Hammond is outside for ball 1.
Yeah, don't want to give any more damage up if you can get this final third out here. But.
Yep. And Tate Maynard 1 for 2.
Yep.
Got to hit his last at bat. And the pitch. Fouled away.
I'm getting texts saying, hey, go try that cougar tail if you've never had one. I'm embarrassed to say I've actually never had a cougar tail, but I'm going to get one at some point today.
I might have to help you out.
Well, I think they're big enough
with you.
I think they're big enough to split.
Yeah, that's for sure.
From the reports I'm getting.
Here's the pitch. Hit foul and out of play down the right field line. It's now 1-2 count here against Tate Maynard. 7-0 ball game. Crimson on top. Runners on second and third with 2 outs. Pitches away, evens up to count at 2. Hammond right now, again, a freshman. With the pitch. And outside, ball 3. Full count now. Full count, 2 outs. Runners in scoring position. Maynard able to stay patient up there and work this count to a full. As he steps back up to the plate. And the pitch. It walked him. That'll load up the bases. Brings up Steele Barbin.
The second baseman, number 13, Steele Barbin.
Steele Barbin, not necessarily a big power hitter, but if he can put it in play, this could be a big change here in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, still hitting good. He hitting .500, but he's only played in 15 of their 24 games coming into today. It's been tough to crack the lineup, but when he's been out there, I mean, 8 out of 16 this season.
Well, they do a quick little pinch hit, bring up Parker Andrus. Now, Andrus is a power hitter, so they just want to walk it off here.
It's just the depth of this Crimson team.
And the pitch. And it's away for ball 1. Yeah, Parker Andrus has bat DH quite a lot in the lineup here for Crimson Cliffs. This is definitely not an unfamiliar position for him to be in, where he's standing in the batter's box and expecting a hit.
He's played in 22 of their 24 games, so he's been out there a lot.
Swing and a miss for strike 1. A little off speed there from Hammond.
Parker, 2 home runs, 286 batting average this year.
Yeah, I was there for one of those home runs. Here's the pitch, and it's high. 2-1 count.
Older brother, Bronson Andrus, actually prepped at Desert Hills because he was in high school before Crimson Cliffs even opened. And had a heck of a prep career, went on to play at the next level. Good football player, too.
Ooh, I almost thought Andrus got hit there, but just must have been a tight inside pitch for a 3-1 count. We're in a scenario right now, bases loaded, 2 outs. It's a 3-1 count here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 7-0 Mustangs. Here's the pitch. And it's outside. Andrus will walk. That'll bring in a run.
Yeah, and here comes Coach. Looking at the bullpen, this might be it for Hammond. Just hasn't had the command, the location. When we looked at the stats, you saw the 57 Ks, but you saw the 37 walks. You love the strikeouts, but you can't give free passes when you're already down, and that's enough, and Hammond's day will come to a close.
So we'll head to a pitching change here, brought to you by Nets on Fire. Visit netsonfire.org. And with that, we'll step aside for 60 seconds.
I gotta go. Do I have time to get a cougar tail?
Go around and grab your cougar tail. Hey, this game's almost over. Just wait till the end of the game. How's that sound? We'll step aside for 60 seconds here while we go through the pitching change. Be back after this in the bottom of the 5th.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
In Utah, we love our sports. At KSL, we live and breathe sports. Wherever the action is.
Look who we found in Pasadena.
We're there. Wherever you are. Tune in. On air, online, and on the new KSL Sports app. app. We cover it all, from high school to pro, and the only radio team that's home to the Utah Jazz. KSL Sports Live and KSL Sports Zone. The one team that never stops tracking your teams.
Got a pitching change on the mound. Nate Dolly steps up. Another freshman. But again, he's not unfamiliar. He's already up there yesterday. So we've already seen him once, but he didn't throw very much yesterday in that game. So he's back at it here today.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you said it earlier, we mentioned it a couple times, loaded with young talent, getting some valuable experience, but find yourselves in a big hole if you're Ridgeline. Riverhawks down 8-0 here late in this game. And bases are juiced. This is not an ideal situation to bring a freshman into.
I was just going to say, this is a tough position.
You do have two outs, though. You do have that going for you.
As a freshman, the pressure's on. You're put into a difficult position. He delivers that one for a strike across the plate.
3.23 ERA, 1-0 record this year in 13 appearances. 21 2/3 work. 28 Ks to 8 walks. So
that's not too bad.
He's put up some solid numbers to this point.
Fouled away. We've got him to a 1-2 count here to start things off early. 2 outs, bases loaded in the bottom of the 5th. It's 8-0. 2 runs could come across and score. So if this one from Smith ends up in fair play, it could maybe sway this ball game one way. Not that it's not already, but instead he gets strike 3. And that will wrap it up in the bottom of the 5th. Only had to face one batter with one ball and threw the strikeout.
Good off-speed breaking ball to get that SNS mechanical strikeout. Doing your job. That's what Coach brought you in to do.
So the Mustangs will take the field as we go to the top of the 6th. The score, 8-0 on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer or stop by any branch.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
This cheesesteak is so freshly grilled, you could still hear it sizzling.
I can hear it too.
Me too.
Actually, it's the
Hello? Cheesesteak?
grill.
Grilled right in front of you. It's a Jersey Mike's thing. Team D, Team D.
Top of the 6th inning here. Mustangs lead 8-0. Javen Ross still on the bump here in the top of the 6th. He's sitting at 73 pitches so far. He's going to be facing off against Cam Blotter. He'll be coming up here shortly.
Yeah, I appreciate Adams Wealth Advisors, our stat sponsor. You look at the box score for the Mustangs, and you know, no weak link. Everybody's kind of just contributing. I mean, you've got 9 hits, multi-hit game for West. He's 2 for 2. Maynard's 2 for 3. You got a lot of guys with 1 hit. Okay, Wright has a hit and 2 RBIs to his credit, and an 8-0 lead on that Wilkinson scoreboard. And it's still Javen Ross. He thought maybe give you 5 and then turn over to the bullpen, but they're going to roll Ross back out there for the 6th inning. And Ross sitting at 73 pitches.
So Ross against Blotter. Blotter fouls it away. Straight back for strike 1. Now, Andrus, again, he came in as a DH or a sub, you could say, for Barban, but Barban's still out there on second.
Yeah, just a pinch hit.
Bunt down the first base line, stays fair, and the tag is made. He says it's foul.
Yeah, I think it just
touched the chalk.
A smart play by Maynard, though. I mean, Ty Maynard at first, he waited until it was close, and then he went in and applied the tag just in case it was still on the line and ruled fair. Either way, probably a break there for Ridgeline, honestly, that it did go foul, because otherwise he gets tagged out if he grabs that just a little bit sooner and applies the tag.
So Blotter steps back up, facing the 0-2. Here's Ross. Another one fouled away on top of the canopy above us. Now it'll be interesting to see if they keep Javen Ross under the 85 pitch mark, or if they try to just let him pitch throughout the game and close it out. We'll see.
Yeah, you got to stay 85 or less to come back on 2 days rest. So, you know, if he can be really efficient this inning, you know, maybe turn over the bullpen for the 7th if he can stay under 85. But Ross is kind of a pitcher you want to give 3 days rest to anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So he's fresh. So I don't think Coach Abbott's too worried about that right now.
Short grounder goes foul down the third base line. Stay strong with the 1-2 count.
By the way, Dolly that came in and got that last out on that breaking ball, a strikeout.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, he was the starting quarterback for Ridgeline. I mean, this dude's an up-and-coming athlete, man.
Yeah, he's a great athlete. He was a great quarterback on a Ridgeline team that was performing really well this last year as well.
Their OC does an incredible job. I mean, when they won the state championship a couple years ago, I mean, that was one of the best called offensive game plans I have ever seen from a high school football coach.
Yeah. Caden Cox, the quarterback for Ridgeline back then.
Mm-hmm.
Got the win against Dixie in the championship. This one, grounder to Soto at shortstop. The play over to first is there. And that is out number 1.
Number 23, Hayden Hansen.
Brings up Hayden Hansen.
Kyle Day, the OC, if I'm not mistaken, for the football program up there for the Riverhawks. Those are stuff.
Yeah. That's a program that has produced a lot of athletes that go on to the next level. And Hansen sends this one foul. Oh, 1 here to Hansen. Ross sitting at 81 pitches. Ever closer to that 85 pitch mark. And gets that one across for strike 2.
Yeah, he's still got the velo, doesn't he? Still got the location. Been ahead in the count most of the day at almost every hitter. Again, only 2 Ridgeline hits off Javen Ross. He's been stingy.
Another one fouled away. Stays alive. It's 0-2 count. 1 out. Crimson Cliffs on top, 8-0 against Ridgeline.
You know, and Justin Abbott demands a lot off his pitchers because he was a pitcher. I remember when he pitched professionally. In fact, Crimson skipper, they had a Think Pink night when he was pitching in the Independent Baseball League for the St. George Roadrunners back in, I think, 08 or 09, maybe 010, one of those 3 years that they were in town. And they auctioned off his jersey, and guess who got it?
Did you get it?
I got it.
Nice.
And I made him sign it.
Yeah, as you should. Got him looking, strike 3.
If he wins the state title for a back-to-back season, though, I think I'm going to have to give it to him.
You say, hey, you can have this back, man.
Coach Abbott can show his daughters that, yeah, I actually did play.
I did play. I did all right.
Yep. And now, that's 84.
And they're going to send Ross.
Yeah, they're going to go get him.
They're going to give him a little round of applause and head to the bullpen. Looks like Fahey Faunalua is going to be coming out.
And that's he was paying attention. Obviously, Coach Abbott, student of the game. You're charting pitches. You got game changer. He's thinking, hey, Ross looks pretty good. He's crisp. He could go the distance, but you know what? Let's just in case make him available with 2 days rest, because coming through that one loss side of the bracket, you got to play a lot of games if you're going to get to a state championship. You're going to have to maybe beat somebody twice on this championship Saturday.
Well, and even tomorrow, if they win tomorrow, they will be in a doubleheader tomorrow. So
yeah,
they
will probably have to play on Thursday.
Could potentially have to play on Thursday as well. So they want him available and ready to go. So we'll step aside for 60 seconds.
And if Crimson's going to win the state title, I think they'd have to look close to the bracket, but I want to say 6 more games.
Yeah, they have to win a lot more games. A lot of games left to go. So we'll step aside 60 seconds. When we come back, it's still the top of the 6th inning. 2 outs on the board here. 8-0 lead for Crimson Cliffs.
Inspired design. Ultra quiet operation. To you, it's a Bryant Evolution cooling system. To us, it's the ultimate machine.
All set.
For the dealer nearest you, visit Bryant.com.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Bryant.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
So the pitching change brought to you by Nets on Fire. Visit netsonfire.org. They're your premier training facility for your athlete. Pitching change here. Fahey Faunalua stepping up to the mound today.
Somebody told me earlier in the season, he's got that 89-90 where he tops out the fastball. See what
inside.
Well, I was watching the radar gun here at the ballpark in the warm-up tosses, and the last fastball he threw did zip 85, so he's got good velo.
2 outs, no runners on. A swing and a miss on some outside heat for strike 1. Now the pitching change again, as we kind of mentioned as we had to break there, just trying to keep him under 85 pitches, right? Trying to keep Javen Ross ready and available for the future. A lot of games left to play. Is this one another fastball? It's outside for ball 2. Keep Ross available. He's one of your aces. Done well today. Only allowed 2 hits. And a swing and a miss for strike 2. Evens the count at 2 apiece. Trey Purser right now. And the pitch, Purser, swing and a miss for strike 3. Oh, did they call it just strike 2?
And that looked,
out of the way.
That looked 87-88, didn't it, on that one?
Yep.
Starting to get loose. A little mustard on that dog.
A little conference between Starley and Fahey. Well, facing a 1-2 count right now. Coming in for Javen Ross, who just pitched a phenomenal game. You just want to make sure that no damage is done after this. So Purser steps up to the plate, and the pitch. Got him.
Good
and
K.
that'll be strike 3. And out number 3.
And that looked 87-88 again, didn't it?
Yeah, it was right there. Bottom of the 6th inning we go here at BYU. Larry H. Miller Field. Crimson Cliffs Mustangs lead 8-0 against Ridgeline.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Region 10 Sports is brought to you by Nets on Fire, the premier training and event facility in Southern Utah. High-level individual and group training catered to your athlete, plus the best camps, clinics, tournaments, and showcases in the West. Visit netsonfire.org.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 8-0. Crimson Cliffs on top here at BYU. Larry H. Miller Field. Directly center field. The Marriott Center, home of BYU basketball. One of the larger arenas here in the state of Utah and back up to the mountains. One of the best views that we have in college baseball, and a great view for us today here in the 4A state tournament. Now, this is going to be our last day at BYU. We'll be moving just up University, and we'll be going towards UVU for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, geez, what a 10-minute drive.
Yeah, it's not all that far.
Yeah, Britton Brown Ballpark actually it's different. It's not all turf. So it would be interesting to see, as we get back to the natural grass field, you get some funny hops or whatever. You get these true hops out here. We were talking with a couple BYU players that joined us for the broadcast yesterday, Luke Anderson, Cooper Vest, and they're talking about how true the field is. They love playing on this turf field.
Strong hit over to third. Maynard trying to dig, not there in time for out number 1.
That's a heck of a play by Purser. I'll tell you what. Gloves it, goes and gets it out of the dirt, and then fires a missile on a clothesline. And everything happens bang, bang. I like Purser. I think this kid got a bright future, man. I don't know if he's got anybody on him scholarship-wise, but this kid can play the game. Certainly Ridgeline's best player.
P.D. Soto now up to the plate.
And he's only a junior, Caden. He's not even a senior.
Soto's 1 for 3 today. And that one will be a quick out. Line drive.
Yeah, this is the second time Petey's lined out sharply and hit it hard and didn't miss, just right to somebody. And he's 1 for 4 now on the day.
So Nate Dolly on the mound as the young freshman is facing 2 quick outs, and now Evans steps up. This ball gets away.
I mean, he's 6 foot, He's got some get up and go. I like it too. Nobody on base, working quickly. Throwing motion baseball to football, yeah, it's different, but there's a lot of similarities too.
Ooh, did he go? Check swing. Safe.
Not everybody can throw off their back foot like Aaron Rodgers does a deep ball.
And that'll walk him.
Yeah, and Evans has got a really good eye. He hadn't lost that, even though he's somewhat rusty and watch him run. You still can see he's not.
He runs a little bit of.
You can tell that hammy's still maybe not 100%.
He might just be keeping it, trying to keep it from getting out of control, right? Maybe it doesn't feel horrible, but when you have that injury, sometimes you change the way you do things, right? Well, that one breaking ball in for strike 1.
And, and he's probably got a busy, club season coming up this summer. They might have to get some rest after the state tournament, but wants to be out there with his brothers and make a run at a back-to-back state championship. Like I said, he was about to come back. Maybe they rushed him a little bit too early, re-aggravated it in a JV game running to first, and then that shut him down for a couple more weeks.
Yeah. Here's the pitch. It's high and away for ball 2.
You ever had a bad hammy? I had one. Stupid story. You ready?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Show up for a 6:30 softball game. There's 7 of us. Of course, I'm one of 2 outfielders. First batter, gapper, 2 outfielders. I hadn't even stretched. pulled my hammy.
Yeah, that'll happen to you.
It took me like 5-6 months till and then it still lingered for another couple months after that. It just bugged you.
Full count here.
So I can attest to that hammy and how they linger.
They do. They're tough. They're tough ones to get over.
Worst injury you've ever had?
Broken collarbone.
Mine was a broken nose. That's the worst. I don't know about collarbone. Maybe they're both the same.
Starley sends one for a ride into left. It'll drop down, send a run around from first to third, and Starley will end up with a double.
Brack swinging it good. That's just a nice piece of hitting. Timed it up.
Yeah.
Pulled it. Not too far in front, though. Had a little hook spin away from the left fielder.
Check out that SNS Mechanical replay. And this might be one of our bin blaster blasts of the games as well. Good strong hit out into left field. And...
yeah, and now
brings up West.
And now, a hard hit single or even a blue single, this game could be over. I mean, 8-0. The 10 run after 5 is in effect here, which does save pitch count for Coach Abbott moving forward into tomorrow.
Dolly's pitch is outside to Tyler West. West today is 2 for 2. If there's anyone you want up right now in this situation, it's him. He walked his last at bat.
Having a heck of a year.
He sends one straight to first base for out number 3. So no runs will come across for Crimson after a strong hit from Breck Starley. And that'll send us to the top of the 7th inning, where 3 outs. And this one will be over in favor of Crimson Cliffs. 8-0, Crimson on top.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
Adams Wealth Advisory is a financial planning firm that is combined with an investment firm to provide the best possible outcomes for our clients.
I always believe if you're intentional with your financial plan, things are going to work out really well for you.
Visit AdamsWealthAdvisors.com or call 752-1702 to schedule a time with an advisor today.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
At their 2 Southern Utah locations. Don't wait any longer. Visit Zag today and get your phone fixed by the best in the business. Zag protects it better.
It's the top of the 7th inning here from Larry H. Miller Field on the Fan Sports Network, KSLSports.com. Whether you're listening or watching this game live, we appreciate you joining us here on the broadcast today. Game 2 of our 4A state playoff matchups here on this Tuesday. The game coming up next, we're going to be seeing Green Canyon and Dixie face off. Headed to the winner's side of the bracket. Green Canyon getting a big win against the number 2 seed Crimson Cliffs Mustangs yesterday.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Case and Bell on the mound. And we'll see who Green Canyon tries to answer with. Coleman Bob had a blast in that game yesterday.
Coleman Bob, our player of the game for Green Canyon.
They had the radar numbers on, and exit velo was like 105 miles an hour, I think, on that 2-run shot.
And that is impressive.
Compared to Ryder Harrison with the walk-off home run yesterday, his exit velo was actually only 93.
That's not too bad. And it was an oppo hit.
Yeah.
The wind kind of brought it a little bit. 2-1 count here.
Speaking of wind,
Faunalua getting one across.
There is no more wind.
No, the wind, we had a lot of wind to start this game, and now it's just dead out there. You look at the American flag in right center field. Is this one ripped right up the middle by Nate Dolly.
And that'll get your heart rate up a notch or two, and it's already probably elevated. Faunalua, I mean, if he doesn't react, that about got him face high. Take a look at that one again if we have it. I mean, that's why you see in softball the pitchers wear that protective helmet when they pitch inside the circle. You don't see that in baseball because this is watch. I mean, this is probably 100 miles an hour off the bat. Boom. He almost caught it.
He tried to make the reaction. I think it was just to the side of his glove. That was close. Sent into right field by Dahlke, who sends it right to Jager Baldwin for the first out of the inning. And Dolly will head back to first.
Yeah, and you know, Dahlke, heck of a career, 6'1" senior. He would have loved to finish his career with a hit. They just got underneath that for the fly out to right field.
Clark now stepping up to the plate. Made a few really amazing plays defensively. 1 for 2 here today. Inside pitch from Fahey for ball 1. Crimson Cliffs looking for a double play to try to close this one out with a runner on first, 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. And it's outside corner, strike 1, 1-1 count.
You know, Fahey, Honolulu hadn't pitched a ton, you know, coming into this season. Like we were talking about, Coach Abbott hadn't had enough innings to go around for some of his relievers. And that one got Preston Norton right in the protective face guard there. He'll shake that off.
Yeah, swing and a nick on the ball sends it right back into the umpire's face mask. And sometimes you always got to worry about that because it doesn't feel good. I know the face mask is there for a reason, but it doesn't feel good to get hit in the face mask either.
Venezuela, 4.20 ERA, 3 appearances is all on the mound. 3 1/3 of work before today.
Here's a pitch sent to third. They'll throw it to second for out 1. And he dropped it. He's safe.
No, transfer.
Oh, did he get it? Okay.
Yeah. On the transfer.
The umpire made sure that the call was correct. Yep.
Fanuela, you know, 5 Ks, 4 walks, but you can see, I mean, this kid knows how to pitch, and he's got a live arm. Touching 87, 88, topping out there, and it's pretty impressive if he's only thrown 3 innings of work. So
that's not bad. It's Max Baer now up to the plate here for Ridgeline.
I'm sure he's got some inner squads and some bullpens. That was juiced. That looked 89.
That had some good speed on it. Outside, though, for ball 1. Fahey working out of the stretch. A little glance over to first, throws the ball down, and he's back there safe.
You wonder how many college scouts are, you know, here in and out of the ballpark this week. You're bouncing around some of the 5A, 6A, just finishing up their super regionals. You get the 3 and 4A brackets going down. You know, BYU's coaches are here. It's their home park.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure, you know, early in the week, Coach Fadenauer's probably making the rounds. I'm sure, you know, Salt Lake Community College, UVU, all the local schools, Weber State, Utah State probably making the rounds, checking out some guys they don't want to miss on anybody.
Yeah. 3-0 count here from Honolulu to Baer. Bear's gone 0 for 2 here today.
Kind of feel like Honolulu is a raw, up-and-coming talent that if somebody gave him a chance, might be able to pitch at the next level. He looks really good out there, Caden.
Yeah, he does. Throws that one across for a strike with the 3-0 count. Makes it 3-1. And that's all you can ask for in these guys, right? That they come in, have some good command. And the thing is, he's got a little speed to put on it as well.
It might be a guy that you say, hey, go to a JC, and then we're going to keep an eye on you.
And that will travel foul down the third base line on the 3-1. It's now full count to Baer, Max Baer. Again, one of the seniors on this team.
You know, and if he can get out of this quickly here, you can come back tomorrow if Crimson needed him in one of their games.
Yeah, he's pitched 20 pitches, so he's still at a pretty low pitch count. And I don't know if that got him or is inside and walked him. Either way, he finds himself on first base.
Just a bit inside, I think. I don't think he quite got him. If it did, it just grazed him. Usually they'll signal point if it hits him, and no such signal there from Preston behind the dish.
Starley and Maynard come out and talk to Fonalua. Just a quick conference. Say, hey, we just need one out, man. Just throw it down the pipe, throw it down the middle. Yeah. If he hits it, we got your back.
Hey, got to force it for second or third here now, so you got some options on anything on the ground.
Ooh, throws it behind him, pass ball. The throw down to third. No, but he decides to hold on to it. Yeah. They don't want any mistakes. Just they're trying to save the shutout.
Yeah, I mean, Brex, you got that sense where, hey, if I rip this, can I get him? And last second he says, no, I don't think. And I think that was the right decision. You don't want to throw that in the left field and let a run score here. Make him earn it.
Fahey with the 1-0. Hit strong to shortstop. Soto bobbles it. Throw to first. It's not there in time. And a run will come around to score.
Yeah, and PD, if he doesn't bobble it, he's got that out, right? But leaves it in the dirt, has to go back and get it, and that was just that half a step that was the difference between an out or a safe call.
Well, Jensen just with the strong rip right to Soto. Soto caught it in the basket, but just couldn't make the transfer to the hand and throws it across, just not in time.
He still almost got him, didn't he? He didn't beat that.
He almost did.
That was close.
Again, Soto, he's seen his fair share of time on the mound as well. Another one of those guys that can come in and pitch if needed. And that pitch from Fahey across for strike one.
And so, yeah, you did lose the shutout. You hate to see that if you're Fahey, but more importantly, you just want to get out of here as soon as you can and without any further damage and save as many innings as you can for tomorrow. Ridgeline, though, they're going to fight to the bitter end. They haven't given up on this game.
Not at all. One more out, one more strike could be the end of it here for the Riverhawks.
Dolly at the plate. He's 0 for 2 today, but.
And this is Ian Dolly.
And 300 hitter on the season.
Inside pitch. Now facing the 1-2.
That's a tough ball to lay off of with 2 strikes, isn't it?
Yeah, very well. I mean, depends on where he likes it. I don't know about you. I'm an outside guy. Throw it low and outside. That's the pitch I like. Got him. That'll load up the bases.
Yep. Maybe pressing a little bit now on the bump.
But now, force out at any base.
Number 2,
I like this time Maynard coming over just saying, hey, you're good. Just need one. Refocus. And now Ridgeline's thinking, okay, if Blotter can do something here, an extra base hit, all of a sudden the pressure really kind of flips. Right now the pressure's squarely on Ridgeline, but you get like a bases clearing triple right now or something, all of a sudden you might have to go a little deeper in the bullpen.
And there are a couple guys back in the bullpen right now warming up a little bit.
Yeah, they've been down there for a while, but they weren't really doing much, and now they're kind of picking back up their throwing motion.
Hits third, and that should be the force out at first. It is, and that's the ball game where Crimson Cliffs gets the win. 8-1 over Ridgeline. Ridgeline will head home, and Crimson Cliffs will move on to face the winner of Snow Canyon and Mountain Crest. That game coming up later tonight in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll take a 60-second break. When we come back, it's the Johnson Pediatric Dentistry post-game show. Stick around here on the Fan Sports Network and KSLSports.com.